Hello everybody, welcome back to the Final Fantasy VI walkthrough. I am joined by Stigma.
I'm no longer called Stigma.
What are you called now?
I am the artist formerly known as Stigma, and my symbol is a pee-hole.
Okay. Can we just stick with Stigma? Because it's a lot faster than saying the artist formerly known as.
No. You're calling me the artist formerly known as pee-hole. Or wait, no. Damn it, fine, let's just go with Stigma.
Yeah, you can't even keep it
Nope,
straight.
Can't do it.
Alright, we're heading up here to what is it? What is the old guy's place that's going to build the Colosseum? I believe... Did I grab the hero ring already? I think I did. I think I did in the last video. But I'm heading back up because I want to jump on a chocobo. Just to avoid some of the... Because, I mean, it's a pretty long trip to Zozo. And I don't think I stopped in... What's that town? Themasia?
Is it Themasia? I forget now.
No, it's not.
You can pick up Shadow there.
Nope, that's Kolingen.
Is it?
Yep. And we don't want to pick him
right.
up yet. We don't want to pick him up yet. We want to pick him up after we've got the first Espers. Man, what is the name? Jydor. Jesus. I don't know why I couldn't figure it out with the auction hall. So I don't know if I stopped in there or not. I guess we'll find out. I guess it's not the worst thing ever because there is another chocobo stable there. And then here you got to step on the correct tile to actually get into this place. But in my opinion, it's best to just, what is this, 100 GP or whatever. Oh, hurry up. Yeah, 100. So I think it's more cost effective to just jump on this thing than it is to, like, you know, walk all the way there, take all the extra damage, and then use a bunch of potions and stuff. So
It's a pretty cheap ride.
yeah, that and it's you just avoid all the random encounters.
I remember, like, when I first got on this thing, I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. And now I'm looking at it and it's, like, giving me a headache.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's kind of cool, but also kind of, I don't know. I like that music, I guess.
It's pretty upbeat.
But, yeah, so we're going to head into Zozo. Again, like I said, you know, Shadow technically is... Yeah, now here I'm trying to give us even more of a headache. Shadow is technically recruitable as long as you only have 3 people in your party, but I don't end up doing it that way. And so again, there's a couple of different things that I want to add. You know, in the previous video, I believe it was, or maybe it was 2 videos ago, I'm not sure. But I suggested going all the way to the Veldt to get Gao leapt. And again, I definitely got to recommend that because after the whole Zozo event is over, Celes and Locke will be required to be in your party. And then what you can do, as long as you've already got him lapped off, is just take one other person. I guess actually it doesn't really matter who you take. But... so we'll just say for argument's sake, take Edgar. I always like Edgar. And then you can actually run right back to Kolingen and pick up Shadow right then and there. And then you can level him and Celes one time. So that they're both level 6. And the reason being is because at a certain point in the game, and we'll definitely point that out, but they will have their levels re-averaged to 6 anyway. So if you don't take advantage of getting that Esper boost right then, they lose it. So, you know, like I said, if you don't do that, then you lose 1 level's worth of stats. And unfortunately, your first Esper is only a +1, so it'll, you know, I will end up using, I believe it's Stray, and it gives +1 to magic power. So we will both level Celes and Shadow right then and there.
Fair enough. The Hades Gigas is a pretty badass mob, I always thought.
Yeah, and you can steal Atlas Armlet from them, which is... It's an okay item. And then here... So this is actually a big puzzle, and I don't think I ever realized that when I first played the game. But all of the people in Zozo...
Lie.
Yeah, they all lie. And most of them will tell you what time it is. Or, I should say, not necessarily what time it is, but they'll lie to you about what hour, minute, or second it is. And so if you were to go through town, talk to everybody, and write everything down, you could figure out what time to set the clock to, which obviously gets you the chainsaw, which is pretty nice. And the Slam Dancer here, you can steal thief knives from them.
Cool.
Yep, so eventually what I do... Oh, Cyan got knocked the crap out. So what I eventually do here is... and it's kind of cool. You can use the noise blaster on these Gabbledy-Gecks, or whatever they're called. And that'll confuse them, and then they'll actually cast Vanish on you. So what I do is I make sure that I get Vanish on like Locke, and then I'll steal in town. And that's actually a really, really great way to make money at this point in the game. Usually what you do, though, is you sell off all of your items so that you have 0 gold. And then actually what you do is you run around in the streets, okay? Because in the streets you never run into Slam Dancers. Slam Dancers are only ever encountered here in these, like, the inner
buildings,
areas. Yeah. And so when you steal from a harvester, and we'll see those in a little bit, they'll steal something up to like 4,116 of your gold every time. But the catch is, if you don't have any money, they can't steal anything from you. So what you do is you steal from them, and sometimes you'll steal a goggles, which isn't worth crap, unfortunately, but rarely you'll steal Dragoon Boots, which is, I believe it sells for 4,500 gold, or gil, or whatever the crap the game is, or the money is in this game.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so, you know, unfortunately, like I said, it's a rare steal, so most of the time you're going to end up with goggles, which is pretty crappy, but the cool thing is, again, out here in these street areas, you know, and especially if you're not leveling, you can keep fighting these enemies, and they'll only ever use physical attacks on you. So with the Vanish on, you won't ever take any damage.
So you can just steal until your heart's content.
Yep, and make as much money as you want, and then you know, go take it to Jydor or wherever, and you know, buy whatever you want. So, cool trick. And then again, with the Slam Dancer, on the other hand, eventually, and I don't recommend doing it now because, well, I mean, in all honesty, I really don't think it's worth it to do it right now. But later on, what you can do is equip like wall rings on your characters, and then get into the fights with the Slam Dancers on the inside of the buildings, and try to steal yourself some thief knives. The good and bad thing about it is, actually you can mute them. So eventually, you know, we'll get an Esper that'll teach us mute. Well, you can mute the Slam Dancer, and then they can't do anything to you, which is obviously pretty nice. And then you can try to steal.
Do they ever run out of mana?
Yeah, and you can, you know, if you've got Osmos and Rasp, you can run them out. So that works too.
I always thought that was annoying in some RPGs where, I mean, I've never paid attention to it like in this game, but like it says, like, you know, they have a mana pool, and it's like they never do.
Yeah.
It's like just infinite. Unlimited freaking mana.
Yeah. There's actually quite a few bosses, and one of them, for sure, I vaguely remember we were just talking about earlier, the Flame Eater. The Flame Eater will die once it runs out of MP. And that is the same with actually a few bosses in this game. I think it's the Atma weapon on the Floating Continent.
No way.
Yep. If you run him out of mana, he'll die. So
that was one of my favorite fights in the game.
Yeah,
Atma weapon, just because he's so cool looking.
Yeah, and there's 2 of them actually, and one in the World of Ruin. I think they've got a slightly different name, and obviously the one in the World of Ruin is quite a bit more powerful, but definitely similar, at least similar graphic, if not the exact same.
Do you remember the dialogue in the game? It always kind of confused me because they said that there were 2 Atma weapons.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so I always wondered if that was like a misprint or like something.
Yeah,
because one is the weapon and then one is the Dagron.
Yep.
And then there's 2 enemies with that Dagron graphic. So I always kind of thought, like, okay, was that Atma weapon sword supposed to be named that?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. You're right though. That guy does. There's a guy in, I believe it's Albrook. Don't quote me on that. It's one of the southern cities that says two Atma weapons were made or whatever. One of them was a sword that turned the user's.
It does specify the sword.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep, it does. So it is kind of interesting. Although, so I do want to say though, I'm pretty sure that the two that you actually fight have slightly different names. I don't know how much they differ, and then I don't know if they. I want to say that they changed one of them in the PlayStation version. I'm almost 100% sure one of them is called the Ultima weapon in the PlayStation version,
Gotcha.
and I think that's the second one. But but for this version, I don't remember, and I guess maybe we can bring that up once we actually get there. But
good block there. That headbutt hits like a mofo. If I
yeah,
remember right.
yeah. And so, with the Hades Gigas now, these guys are on the outside street areas. So those are one of the guys that you'll run into when you're trying to, or if you're trying to steal, and get some money. And like I said earlier, they have the Atlas armlet. The cool thing about them is that they don't have a common steal. So yeah, you're going to miss a lot, but you're always going to get an Atlas armlet if you do steal from them. And I believe they sell for 2,500. So
pretty decent.
Yeah, not bad.
Especially at this level.
Yeah, at this point in the game, yeah, it's not bad at all. So again, if you're hurting for money, that is what I would definitely suggest doing. What do we have here? I think this is the Thief Glove. Boom, nailed it. So that turns Locke's Steal command into Capture. And it's good and bad. There's a lot of times I notice, towards actually more, I guess more when you're like able to finally level, where I kind of just want to steal and I don't want to deal damage, so it's kind of good and kind of bad.
It's cool, and I always wondered like if it raised your steal percentage,
And it doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
The only thing that does is Locke's level, and then it's Locke's level versus the enemy's level. So if you can bring Locke's level up, the enemy's level down, and then have the Sneak Ring equipped. Sneak Ring gives you, I want to say, a 25% increase in success rate. So,
Which is pretty Mongo.
yeah, it's actually pretty decent. Did I equip that? I assume I did. That might have been what I did there. And then, so one other thing. So it's kind of a cheap little trick. I think we talked about it in one of the other videos too. Is that Gao has that you can use that equipment bug with him, and what I mean by that is you can actually equip a weapon on Gao if you put that weapon all the way at the bottom of the inventory list. So in this case, you can equip like a thief knife on Gao. So then when you use his rage command, he will also randomly steal, which is pretty sweet.
That is awesome.
Now I don't remember if Gao can actually equip the Sneak Ring or not. I'm really not sure on that one, but I guess if you could, and I didn't test that. Now that I think about it, I guess I should have.
It's not too late.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. We'll definitely have that answer sooner or later. All right, tincture and potion there. So, I know the first time I played this game, I got stuck here in Zozo for a long time because I didn't realize that you could jump between the buildings.
I remember getting stuck too, and I was getting pissed.
Yeah.
Like, I saw what they were doing, I got the clue, but for some reason I couldn't activate the jump. Like,
Yeah.
I think I was, like, standing a little bit off or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I was actually going to mention that. I'm like, yeah, I kind of felt like an idiot before the first time.
Oh yeah, no, I totally did too. I know I spent a lot of time here. Not out of choice. I don't know why I keep using the noise blaster and
The first time you're through this, overall this is just kind of an intimidating zone. Because the mobs hit, this is like your first real instance of hard-ass hitting mobs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think, truly.
Yeah, because the Slam Dancer uses, I think it's Ice 2. That really hurts.
Yeah, it hits like a truck.
Yeah. Yep, agreed.
I think she uses fire as well, or is it just ice?
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think she will use. She might even use bolt for all I know. One thing I will suggest though for sure is wait here for a little bit. Now I don't think it's a good idea to do it right now, but once you actually get up to what is his name, Dataluma or whatever,
Yeah,
the boss,
some crap.
it's pretty obvious. You'll know right when you're about to fight him. He's just standing in your way. And at that point, what I would recommend doing, especially for this style, gameplay when you don't have much for health, what I would do is get into a random battle right next to him with some of these gobbledygooks, and do exactly what I'm doing here with the Noise Blaster. Make them cast Vanish on you, and then initiate your battle with the Dataluma, because he uses mostly physical skills, and it'll really come in handy. I don't know who ended up. I think each one of them can cast maybe once or twice Vanish. Maybe it's twice.
Before they run out of
before they
MP.
run out of MP. And then one of the other things is, so unfortunately when they're casting Vanish, they'll cast on anything or any one of your party members that's remaining. So what you want to do is select like the defend command on somebody that doesn't have Vanish on them. So defend with them, and then run your other characters away. Because the way that the running works in this game is that you can only ever run if your ATB gauge is full. So if you use the defend command, they'll stand there, obviously, and then take less damage. So that's the other benefit of it. And then everybody else will run away that has Vanish. And then, obviously your characters that don't have Vanish will be the only ones left. So...
Seems
cool.
legit.
Yeah, kind of cool stuff. Cool stuff to know.
I always liked how Dataluma, or whatever the hell his name was, he kind of looked like Vargas.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Very similar.
Yep.
Or maybe pretty much the same, I don't know. But yeah, then when you actually fight him, he's just like this giant fat ass.
Yeah. He can be pretty brutal though. That's so, like I said, I think it's almost a must to have a couple of people in the Vanish status. Because I know he'll throw knives at you, like the Mithril knife or whatever, and they'll one-shot you if you're not vanished. So, and here I don't know if it was really so there he got woken up by himself. I think I ended up with 3 people vanished when I end up doing this. And then, so Dataluma's he's got a good, I think it's a good rare steal as well as a rare drop. And I don't remember which one's which, but I want to say I think he can drop a thief knife rarely, but I didn't get it. And then his rare steal is a sneak ring, I believe, but I didn't get that either, unfortunately. So, and I didn't really think that it was worth it to reset my game on account of that. If that's something that you absolutely want to get right away, then I guess good luck, but it's tough. Especially that rare drop. I don't know. The thief knife it's so much easier to just steal one from the slam dancers. All right, what do we get there? Fire Knuckle for Sabin?
Yeah, which I remember being a pretty beastly upgrade.
Yep, randomly casts fire. And then one other hopefully final tip for this particular fight is eventually he'll summon the Iron Fists, and you absolutely cannot kill them. Because if you kill them, you'll get experience. Yep. So what you have to do is leave them alive and kill him, and then so that's the one skill that will take your characters out of
stealth.
Yep, out of stealth. Yeah, essentially. Yep.
Vanish mode, whatever. That looks awesome. I never noticed that before.
Yeah, he puts the hat on and the drill while he's invisible.
What was the difference between drill and chainsaw again? Chainsaw will do a one-hit.
Yep, so chainsaw will randomly one-shot. And I don't know what the damage formula is, but that's why actually I don't like using it very much, because because anything that's immune to death makes it so that that doesn't do anything. So it can kind of be a waste of a turn. So I'm okay with doing a little bit less damage, but you know, for sure. Uh-oh, what did I do here? Drilled him. Yep, this is what I think I used a potion on it. I wanted to make damn sure that I didn't kill one.
Accidentally, yeah.
Yep. So, unfortunately, now with Sabin here, he really can't make use of his blitzes anymore because they randomly target. So, with him anyway, you're going to either want to start healing or use that new claw, use that fire claw. Put that to good use. And then do not, the last time I did this, I used the noise blaster on the on the Iron Fist, and they use the stone skill, which does something like 8 times damage to anything that's the same level. So one of them used stone and absolutely destroyed the other one.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then the shitty part is you get experience for it. Here's the mithril knife. Miss. One more. Crack.
Holy
dead.
cock.
There you go.
614.
So that's why you need to have a couple of people invisible. And I forget what his, he's got AI that determines when he uses that. I think it's after he takes so many hits or something like that. I don't really remember. The important thing about it is to have a couple of people invisible, and I would say Edgar is probably the top priority because he's going to be doing the bulk of the damage. I mean, you can see here he's cracking out 250 every turn, whereas Sabin's only doing like
60.
Yeah, 50, 60.
If that.
Yeah, here you go. Flap. That would have been a one shot. That would have. So that's the worst thing. He throws 2 of them. So even if the first one doesn't necessarily kill your guy, like if you had enough health, the second one most likely would.
And this should probably drop him, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's got to be here. Got to be quick. Come on. And I think the Iron Fist has a headband or something like that. So if you want to try stealing from them, I guess go ahead. It's a rare steal, unfortunately, though, so I'd bet more times than not you're going to get either a tonic or a potion. There it is. So that's how to do it right. And you'll see here now we won't get any experience. But we get that sweet headband. So there you go. That's his common drop. And I think, like I said earlier, his rare is a thief knife. So, but that's it. That is Zozo.
Such a cool area.
Yeah, it really is. The weird thing about Zozo is I believe it's one of 2 areas that the enemies don't change. So when you come back here in the World of Ruin, that's the other cool thing. So you don't ever have to worry about not being able to come back and get more thief knives because the enemies don't change once it turns to the World of Ruin. So, kind of cool. Don't even bother healing those 2 because, well, what's the point? We're here at the end. There are 2 treasure chests here. I want to say running shoes and like X potion or something like that. Here's the running shoes. Let's see if I was right. Boom!
Nice.
Still got it.
That's how we get so much pussy, is because we know...
Weird gaming knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women are just drawn to it.
Just love it. Oh my god, level up. Oh yeah.
Just a bunch of dudes hanging around a bed staring at a naked demon chick.
Not weird at all.
Not weird at all.
Oh, and then suddenly an old man appears.
That shit was so cool. Holy shit, it's Rama, yeah.
Yeah.
Good times back when I was, whatever, 6 when I played this game, 13,
Yeah.
28, I don't know.
Who even knows? There she, like, kind of tweaks out. Tries to get out of bed. Flies around. I am Rama, the Esper Rama. Oh, well. That's interesting that he says that.
That they take the shape of humans?
That and he says that that humans and espers can't. What does he say? Is it survive together? Which is technically actually not true. But
I mean, they're sitting there looking at the proof of it. Oh,
Yeah.
You can't live together. Well, who's this bitch then? Well, she's an exception.
yeah.
Shut the fuck up, old man.
I mean, if he would have just stated it a little bit different, like, how would you say? Humans, their thirst for power is what makes it so that they can't survive together. Like, I don't
Well,
know.
they could quit being pussies too, because I mean, they could take over like the human realm if they weren't such like peaceful, just pot smoking hippies.
Well,
Come on.
and I mean, I think that
Take
at
that
one
shit
point
over.
they try to. We're going to see that. A couple of them bust through the gate and kind of go berserk.
Well, I think that's because they were close to the gate. Like they just happened to be at the gate, and then,
Right.
So they weren't like trying.
Right. Yeah, and then Kefka schools a couple of them. So I don't know what he did to more or less make himself immune to them, right? Because like the whole Thaumasia incident goes down, and he just destroys them. They can't even do anything to him.
And he just goes apeshit.
He learned about the magic defense or the magic evade trick in this game. So their spells didn't do anything to him. So
I like Rama's graphic too, by the way.
yeah, he does look pretty awesome. Do they ever really explain though how she like can control her whole transformation stuff? Do they ever?
Isn't he
Say?
just kind of like teaching her like Obi-Wan style?
Is he? I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, so he just said that when she. What was that line? When she accepts this aspect of herself, she'll be okay. Okay.
So it's a mental thing.
Okay, yeah, apparently. Alright, so here's the cool part. So Rama definitely like explains to us that, Gestalt's methods aren't correct and you can't just draw their power out, but they need to be, changed into magicite. Which, maybe that explains why Celeste only learns so many skills. So many magic skills, right? Doesn't she only learn a couple?
I think so.
So I have probably like 10, well, maybe not 10, maybe like 5 or 6 spells.
I've never actually seen a list of what they can
Yeah,
learn.
what she learns.
Be interesting to check out, actually.
There's definitely one out there. There's a really good one that I found the other day that's got what everybody learns, like Cyan when he learns his sword text, as well as Terra and Celeste when they learn their spells. It's kind of cool. And then Sabin's blitzes, that sort of thing. Old Mang, are you really going?
So what do you get here? You get Rama.
Rama, Siren, Kirin, and Stray. And I believe it's Stray. It's either Stray or Siren has the +1 to magic power when you level up. And we will take advantage of that twice. Once for Celeste and once for Shadow. Stray Kieran. Oh, sorry. There's Kieran. And again, so the reason being is that if you don't take advantage of leveling them up now, and actually, Celeste only needs, she can be leveled up anytime between now and the end of the MagTech research facility, because then she leaves, and your party's level gets averaged after that. Shadow, on the other hand, though, you have to do it basically right now. Between now and the Opera House, which the Opera House is literally next.
Great part.
Yep, and reason being, once you actually enter the Opera House, Shadow takes off on you, which I I tested the other day. I didn't realize that because you can have him when you walk into the Opera House, but then once the whole Ultros business goes down and he says that he's gonna jazz up the opera or whatever, Shadow's gone. So when Locke stands up and goes and reads the letter, he's no longer in the seat. So yeah. So here now, like I said earlier, we're going to have Locke and Celeste as being required in the party. I would suggest taking one more person. Unfortunately, you can see I've still got Gao. So again, now my recommendation was to dump him off earlier. But if he's in your party right now, take him with. Take Gao with, and then whoever else. Edgar, I'd say, is always a good choice. And
it's
then,
mostly just a big dialogue level.
Yep.
For the most part. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I always just generally try to keep Locke and Celeste together.
Yep. Yeah, I think it goes well. I mean, it goes well story wise.
Yeah, like you don't miss out on any like the bonus story stuff, and they're almost kind of complementary of each other.
Yeah. Well, I really like Celeste, especially in this style of gameplay for her runic. I think it really shines in this, you absolutely can't take magic damage really in this when your characters are this low level. Otherwise, it spells almost complete doom. And then you know what? Actually, I do have to recommend taking Cyan with. You have to have Cyan when you start the Opera House, and actually Gao. Now, like I said earlier, we're going to be doing things a little bit different because I have to take Gao to the Veld, leap him off, then get Shadow. Because if you go and get Shadow right now, he joins at 6, and you would have lost that level. So it's a little bit complicated, but again, being that I didn't dump Gao off earlier, we have to go to the Veld and dump him off now. If I had already done that, we wouldn't have to make that trip over there. We could have just taken Cyan, Locke, and Celeste, and then go grab Shadow, level that one time, and then basically boot him out, and then go back to the Veld, grab Gao, and then start the Opera House. So,
Yikes.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit complicated, but if you want all your stat points, this is how you gotta do it. So, Zoe, never heard of it. All right, and this little ghost will teach us about Espers. I think if you're doing this style playthrough, I'm guessing you already know how to use the Espers. But all right, we're going to bring this to a close. So like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. Hope you guys are liking the videos, though. I hope you join us for more.
Don't actually comment, though, because we don't care. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks for watching.